I just have a few questions to clarify. On the sweeping of the sales tax on the motor fuel, that was the 55-45 split, with the 55 going downstate, able to use for road infrastructure, correct? Before this bill.
So the funding that's identified in this bill is a portion of the sales tax on motor fuel that is being dedicated to transit operations.
Right, I mean, as it exists before we pass this bill. But you could spend, downstate could take that 55% of that portion and spend it on roads, bridges, infrastructure for downstate, correct?
So when the Department of Transportation puts together a plan to put construction work out in the system, they do split it, 55% downstate, 45% District 1.
Right. But what I'm trying to get at is how they can spend it. What can the 55% be spent on? Because from my understanding, the new split, 85-15 for downstate, that can only be spent on downstate transit, not downstate roads and bridges. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
I don't know if everybody just heard that. All right, the other thing to clarify on the tollway surcharge. So every toll, I actually think it's 45 cents, not 43 per the bill language. But how often, that's gonna have a CPI on that now, capped at 4%. How often will that be adjusted?
My understanding is that it will be adjusted every 2 years. Let me confirm for you.
Every 2 years?
Let me confirm for you, Leader. I want to make sure I get it right. It's biannually, right? Yeah. Yes, every 2 years.
Thank you. And just to confirm, when the deal that Representative Hammond and several others have talked about that was made before with the capital bill, the increase of the gas tax, didn't that have 20% of the new revenue going to transit?
That is what I was told.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Leader, I wasn't here when that piece of legislation passed.
Okay. So when you talked, I think it was Representative Ugasti asked about the tollway, or somebody, the surcharge, and that's going to be spent. So that money collected on the tolls will be spent on the tolls, correct?
That's correct, yes. It'll be invested into the capital program for the tollway.
Okay. So that's a bill, and that's the deal that's being made. But a few years down the road, that promise, that deal, could blow up when somebody else who has a different idea how the money should be spent will be spent. So you really can't say that the tollway money is going to stay in the tollway, because it's not going to really be up to you. It's going to be up to who's passing the next bill or the next priority of a speaker. Wouldn't that be more accurate? I mean, ideally, that's the goal that you're trying to achieve, but you can't guarantee that. Would that be correct?
So I guess I would say a couple of things. So one, I think that anytime we do something in this body, I think the intent is the intent, right? I'm telling you that this is the plan that is existing today. I can't predict what future General Assemblies are going to do or how they're going to make decisions. I can also say that with this tollway fund that's going to be dedicated to capital construction, if they bond against those dollars and that revenue stream, then that revenue stream is dedicated to those bonds for the future, because there's an indenture related to those bonds. So once we identify this as a revenue stream for that, it really can't be changed or touched. There's a contract associated with that.
Okay, so the tollway dollars that are collected are going to go in, so you're saying they're going to go into the lockbox and they're just going to be used for capital on the tollway?
So the way I would describe it is the revenue stream that's coming from this increased toll, they will be dedicated to bonding in the future that is going to be these construction projects. And so that revenue stream can't be tapped for anything else but to repay those bonds.
Okay. So I'm hearing that it won't be any sweeps or slides to be used for operations.
That's correct. This money is going to be dedicated to capital construction.
Okay. And then a previous representative from the Quad Cities asked about the rail for Moline. And you stated that, yes, there was, what did you say, 143, 145 million to extend the rail to Moline.
42, right? So there's $342 million that is dedicated to inner-city rail.
So there's not a line item in particular for the Moline line.
The Moline line, I believe, is identified. Am I correct? But it is included as part of that package.
At what amount?
I don't have a specific, I have,
I thought
I have 342 million.
So 342 is the total, so that could be part of Rockford, and it could be part of Moline. Is that a fair assessment?
I couldn't answer that question specifically. I only know that it's 342 million.
So 342 for inner, what'd you say, inner?
For inner-city rail.
Okay. Are you aware, is there a deal all of a sudden with the state of Illinois and Iowa Interstate Rail? That's private rail?
I'm unaware of that.
Okay.
Later.
So to say that the Moline rail is going to be extended when there is no deal with a private owner of land, is there a plan or anything that you're aware of that they're going to take this by eminent domain?
I am not aware of anything like that, Leader.
Okay. So to be clear from the representative from the Quad Cities, there's a couple of them here. We've been talking about this rail before I started, when I had the Quad Cities, for 9 years. It's private land. Until that deal is made, there is going to be no rail to Moline. So to say you're going to vote for this because there's going to be a rail to Moline is false until that deal is made. This is the thing about deals. The deal that was made several years ago, I fought against our leader at the time, and it caused angst for a long period of time between us. But now today, as the leader, I fight to still hold that deal together. When Republican districts around the state were going to be getting projects, I think in the amount of $110 million. And today, $41 million still sits out there not used, some of which is now in Democrat districts. When I ask about the deal, I'm told, it wasn't my deal. I didn't make it. Move on. That's the problem, and this is how this place has changed in a very short period of time. We are never going to collaborate and work on a deal if you continue to screw us over, to screw each other over, and not have any respect for the deal. We don't need to do this today. We don't need to do it in this amount. And if anybody thinks you're getting a deal, it's not going to happen, or it's not going to happen to the full extent. And I'm sorry, Representative Leader, I'm sorry. You're probably going to get screwed too. Vote no.